Hey, what's up? It's your girl Neek, and you're tuned in to Neek at Night. And tonight we're going to be talking about how Brandy was brought up in a new interview by the group Immature, and it was said that she caused one of the group members to go blind in one eye. I mean, hide your kids, hide your wives, because it sounds like Brandy is pretty dangerous out here in these streets. Anyway, so if you guys are not familiar or you have been living under a rock, Immature is a singing group that consisted of, I want to say, 3 members. It was Marques Houston, Little Drummer Boy, and Romeo. And they were kind of like the model group that paved the way for B2K. Like before B2K was a thing, the craze and the wave was all the little girls loving, Immature. They later turned and changed their name to IMX. They released songs under that group name, and then I don't know what was the cause of the group to break up, but Marques Houston, he then went on to do his acting career. He was on the show Sister Sister with Tia and Tamara, and he was a solo artist by himself, and then it kind of fizzled out, and you didn't really hear much about the group as a whole. But now they're doing an interview, and they're talking about, their time as a group as Immature, and they're talking about how they're now going back on the road to do shows and, be on tour and things like that. And they talked about a time where Brandy kind of was doing something, like they were like horse playing around, and she caused one of the members to go blind. If you guys remember, Romeo, he used to wear these patches over his eye, and it was due to an incident caused by Brandy. I'm going to play the clip right now, and then I'll be back to talk to you guys.
Because obviously everybody knows that you was always rocking the patch and everything.
Yeah.
And there was the rumor that Brandy did that. Was that true, or is that how that really worked?
No, that's a true story.
Really?
Yeah.
Nah, see, I know y'all.
Yeah.
Because it was always like, nobody really talk about it and everything. Like,
Accident with his
Yeah.
kids.
so tell me the story.
We had just did a performance for
The Lou Rawls telethon.
That's what halftime
I
was still in the
remember.
group.
Yeah.
Lou Rawls telethon. That's when we
just
did.
horsing around playing, and he told us like, "Hey, everybody clean up. Your parents are on their way to pick you up. Just chill out."
Yep.
We didn't listen.
Hey.
So
I was at a family barbecue. I was playing. I was cleaning up though.
her and Half Pint had got into it. And
Okay.
she got up and just kind of like she had a book in her hand, just tossed it back.
Tossed it back.
Not thinking
Right.
I was that close, and it cut my retina.
Dang.
Yeah.
Detached it.
Dang, that's crazy.
The lens to my eye had fell out. And actually, Brandon Adams had caught it. He was actually there with us.
Brandon Adams.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was
there.
Yep.
So he's in there holding my lens. He not knowing what's going on.
Wow.
Mark come in, and we trying to hide it. So
Yeah, they were trying to hide it from me, so I came in. I'm like, "What's going?" Rome is on the bed, like kind of like Chris.
Dang.
Oh my god! I'm like, "What's going on?" And Rome was like, "Nothing." And Brandy was like, "Well, he don't want to get me in trouble, like it's nothing or whatever." So I immediately went and got Chris. I was like, "Chris, something happened to Rome." He came in there. He's like, "What's going on?" And they told us, like, they was like, "Yeah, it was an accident." Took Rome to the hospital, and
Dang, that's a crazy story, because that was always like one of those urban tales that you were like, did that really happen?
Okay, so as you can see, they revealed that due to Brandy hitting him in the eye with a book, it caused him to go blind in one eye, and that is the reason why he was wearing those patches. And they talked about how, he had to have all kind of reconstructive surgery, etc., etc. Well, when this hit the blogs, everybody started to bring up the fact that, you remember that one time when Brandy had that car accident and a man died as a result? Well, people had all types of Brandy slander, and I just was clutching at my pearls, just like, y'all are not right. Here is what some of the people had to say about Brandy after it was revealed that she made him go blind in one eye. Okay, and that was just a very small snippet of some of the comments. The comments were very, very brutal. and it was a whole big old mess. If you guys don't remember the accident, I'm going to give you guys a quick refresher, and then I'm going to get back to this immature interview that was done to talk about some of the other things that was included.
The California Highway Patrol is recommending that actress-singer Brandy be charged with misdemeanor vehicular manslaughter in a freeway crash that killed a motorist last December in Los Angeles.
Okay, so now that we're all caught up to speed on that, let me talk about some more aspects of this interview. Now, if you are of my age, then you are very familiar with Immature and you are very familiar with B2K, all in the same. I came up where it was first, like I said in the beginning, it was first Immature, and then after that, B2K was the babies that was birthed after them, and they all were under the Chris Stokes umbrella. As you guys know, Raz B came forward and he made allegations that, Marques Houston and Chris Stokes had violated the group members, and there was this sexual molestation that was brought up, and it was a big old ordeal. Well, during the course of the interview, because Nick Cannon did the interview and he is friends with the group, he tried to bring it up, but not really bring it up. He kept it safe and didn't really ask the tough questions and kind of really danced around the whole situation. They talked about how they maneuver through, people saying certain things and how they deal in a climate where, people bring up accusations and how they move through it. They didn't name Raz B specifically, but they were kind of touch and go on the whole Chris Stokes situation. And they tried to minimize what Raz B said down to him just quote unquote wanting to seek attention. I'm going to refresh your memory on what Raz B said, and then I'm going to play the part of it where they tried to minimize it to him attention seeking. And again, they kind of were dancing around it. So you have to watch the full interview. I can't put the full interview here. I'm just going to kind of piece it together, but go to the Nick Cannon Morning Show and you'll see the full thing. But until then, let me play what Raz B said, and then I'm going to play of what they said here.
So you can understand, the Bible says you will gain the whole world, lose your soul. People want to hide behind their public image so much. It's a spiritual warfare going on. We're fighting. We're talking about kids that's been molested. The Bible talks about that, okay? But guess what? Fizz and Bug can choose to jump on the bandwagon, and they can try to support me now and make me, and then, I can always have their back and say, I don't know about their business. But they never, guess what? I'm a leader. I'm a true leader, and true leaders go off the deep end. And guess what? I will risk my public image any day to send a message to the whole world that I'm not gay, I'm not crazy, and I'm telling the truth.
It got pretty deep. Like, he ended up exposing them. I'm going to play a little bit more of this for you guys.
And you gotta, hold on, wait. Guess what? See, the problem is everybody want to hide behind their name and their self-image. They won't give that up. So, everybody, Fizz, why would he call me a homo? Why would he say I don't fuck with homos when he took it up his ass first? Okay, so Fizz took it up in his ass first from Marques Houston. We know he can't handle it, so he wants to. Okay. Okay, we know Boog. I know Boog is a G ass nigga, and I've had my words. And I've had my words with Boog. But. And what do you think I'm trying to do?
Okay, so that's just a small flashback of what they're basically referring to in the clip that I'm going to show you guys next. Raz B made allegations that Marques Houston violated Little Fizz, and he made allegations that his cousin Chris Stokes, who was the guy over all of them, molested him, and that was a big thing back in the day. This was before the Me Too movement was a thing. This was before it was, cool to say somebody violated you for a check. Like, this was when he got very disrespected for coming forward with this information. So to see them try to minimize it and not fully address it after they're doing an interview for the first time in a very long time, I was kind of disappointed. Nick Cannon definitely dropped the ball, but here's them trying to minimize what happened to attention seeking.
I want to say, like, the relationship between you and B2K, how are you guys? Because is everybody good? Is it not good?
Actually, No, everything's not good. You know, Boog works with the company, so we talk to Boog all the time. I haven't talked to O in a minute, and it's not that it's bad or good. It's just
it just is what it is.
Everybody grew apart,
situation
kind of split. You know,
they separate ways.
Message of like, forget what you heard, all of that, the rumors and the crazy. Just
ain't
go
true.
enjoy
None
the
of
show.
it's true anyway. Like, you know, people sometimes people will do anything for attention and press.
Right.
Like, some people really do believe even bad press is good press.
Right.
All press is good press.
Right.
Bad or good. I don't believe that. Some people do. And I'm like I said, I'm not here to talk about any of that, but I'm just saying some people feel like to keep themselves out there, they'll
just say anything.
Say whatever.
Okay, and I cut quite a bit out. Again, you have to go to the thing. But he pretty much said that people are just going to try to keep themselves relevant and say whatever. And they were referring to Raz B. Now, if you are my age, you know that this was a time where Raz B was not looking for attention or to keep himself relevant or to try to say something to just drop an album or a project like people do these days. That was totally not the case. I feel like Raz B was totally sincere in what he was saying. Now, I don't know if Marques Houston actually violated Little Fizz or not, but I feel like he was totally sincere in his accusations about his cousin Chris Stokes, and I think that he was real in that. I don't think it was just this attention seeking thing. But let me play a little bit more of what he had to say, but you guys have to go see the interview to see it in its full context.
You know, I've seen it happen to me. I've seen it happen to other people. I've seen it happen to you.
Yeah,
people
absolutely.
Just because they feel like, if I can attach myself to this person, I can get hot again. I could drop an album. Or you know what I'm saying? And they'll do what they're not really concerned about anybody's personal feelings or any of that. It's just like that. It's just like I gotta get myself out there. So that's really what it comes down to a lot. So it's like, you know, at this point, it was like, you know, they going on tour, enjoy it.
Yeah, and now y'all going on tour.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's that on that, and that's what he had to say. I feel like he's trying to minimize it to, he just trying to keep his name relevant at that time and trying to keep himself hot. If I remember correctly, B2K was still kind of like hot at the time. Like, I don't think that they were together in unison, but I don't think that it was like, you know, like trying to relive and bring myself from the dead type of thing. I think that he was very much battling with that. And I don't think that it was an attention seeking thing. Again, I don't know if Marques Houston actually did violate Little Fizz, but that is what Raz B claimed at the time. But what he was always adamant about, even more so, is his interaction with Chris Stokes. When B2K had went on the Millennium Tour, a lot of people had started to bring it up because when they went around on the Millennium Tour, it was around the time that Surviving R. Kelly had came out, and a lot of people had brung up, you know, well, when are we going to talk about Surviving Chris Stokes, and when are we going to talk about what happened with, you know, the allegations with Raz B, and, you know, how he used to have them posing, because they used to be doing some very suspect like poses. It just was a whole lot. So again, I don't think it was just, you know, attention seeking, but you guys let me know what you think about it. What do you guys think about Brandy causing one of the members of Immature/IMX to go blind in one eye? And what do you guys think about them bringing up the whole accusations that Raz B made? Again, when you watch the interview in its full context, they kind of they were like really dancing around it and trying to talk around it. I kind of like put the pieces where it like they were talking about it, but you know, it's like pulling teeth to get to that. So, I mean, you probably will have a bit of a snooze fest watching it. I stayed through the course because I wanted to see if they are going to mention it and what is actually said. And that's what pretty much came out of it. So again, I want to know what you guys think down below. If you're not subscribed to my channel, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button right now. Be sure to turn your post notifications on and turn them to all so you're notified each and every time I post a video. If you are not subscribed to my other social media platforms via my Instagram or my Facebook, be sure to go and follow those as well. It means a lot, and it means a lot to share my videos, and your comments also mean something too. With that being said, let's talk about what's going on, what you think about Brandy, what you think about this whole Chris Stokes thing. Let's talk right now. All right, guys. Peace.